Connections make life meaningful. American Greetings, proud sponsor of Dragon Tales.
This program is funded in part by a Ready to Learn grant from the U.S. Department of Education through the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
PBS Kids!
Are you curious? Curious about the way things work? About the people you see? And the world around you? PBS Kids is the place for curious kids. And Curious George.
George, what are you doing?
He wants to learn. He wants to grow. And he wants to have fun, just like you. So don't miss Curious George, only on PBS Kids.
Maria?
Yes, Elmo?
Some things on TV scare Elma.
Oh, if something on TV makes you or you feel sad or scared, tell a grown-up that's close to you.
Like you, Maria?
Yes, Elmo.
Programming on TPT is supported by
and friends. There are many new adventures and special stories with all your favorite very useful engines. Take to the tracks with Thomas and Friends on PBS Kids.
That's a very good idea.
Coming up next on KTW.
Arthur Reed's a guy who's got it all. Brains.
Excellent, Arthur. You really gave that a lot of thought.
Style. And a little sister.
Arthur! This is all your fault. What kind of older brother are you?
That's DW. She's really...
Is that the best you can do?
Really...
Let us out! Let us out!
Little sistery.
Wake up, Arthur! It's time to start the show!
Don't miss Arthur, weekdays on PBS Kids Go.
PBS Kids Go is going to take you deep into the world of Cyberchase, where you can join the Cyber Squad.
Come on, guys.
Jackie.
How cool is that?
Matt. Let's do it. Inez.
We better check it out.
And Ditch.
Never fear, the Ditch is here.
Help the Cyber Squad protect cyberspace.
I think I have a plan. We'll help.
On Cyberchase. Only on PBS Kids Go.
Thomas and Friends, making tracks to great destinations.
Dear Christopher, here is your friend Thomas the Tank Engine. He wanted to come out of his station yard and see the world. These stories tell you how he did it. I hope you will like them because you helped me to make them. Your loving, Daddy.
The island of Sodor is surrounded by beautiful blue sea. It has fields of green and sandy yellow beaches. There are rivers, streams, and lots of trees where the birds sing. There are windmills and a coal mine and docks where visitors to the island arrive. The island also has lots and lots of railway lines. Who's that puffing down the track? It's Thomas. Hello, Thomas. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the island of Sodor.
Emily is a very proud engine. She likes to do her best and show everyone what to do. Emily is also an old engine. She has long, elegant curves and 2 big driving wheels. One day, Gordon did not feel well, so the Fat Controller asked Emily to take his express until he returned. "Yes, sir," puffed Emily. "I won't let you down." "Excellent," smiled the Fat Controller. "I hoped I could rely on you." Emily felt very pleased. She collected the coaches and took them to the station. The passengers were surprised to see a different engine on their train. "Peep, peep, peep! Quickly, please!" called Emily cheerily. Emily had not taken the express for a very long time, and did not know that Gordon always started slowly and gently. "Nice and steady," said her driver. "I'm a passenger engine," said Emily huffily. "I know what to do." The guard blew his whistle and Emily replied with her own. She was excited to get on her way and started so suddenly she tipped backwards as she left the platform. "Careful," called her driver. "You can't reel like that, Emily. The passengers won't like it." Emily snorted and moved out onto the main line. Things got a little better. Emily was soon making good time and having fun. "Come along, come along, come along," she puffed to the coaches as they hummed happily behind her. But the passengers weren't happy. Emily's big wheels made her rock and roll like a ship in high seas. The passengers were being jostled about inside their compartments. "This is too bouncy! How uncomfortable! This won't do at all!" The coaches were worried. Slow down, they said to Emily. "But this is the express," said Emily huffily. "I can't slow down." Much too rough, muttered the coaches. The driver and fireman weren't happy either. They slowed their engine down so the rocking stopped. Emily was annoyed. "Now I'm going to be late," she fumed. The train soon came to Gordon's Hill and Emily wanted to go faster, but her driver wouldn't let her. The old engine could feel the weight of the coaches pulling against her as she started to climb the hill. "I can do it! I can do it! I can do it!" she panted. All of a sudden, her large wheels slipped and Emily struggled to carry on. "I must do it! I must do it!" It was no good. The coaches were heavy and Emily was going too slowly. She couldn't get a grip and soon stopped, halfway up the hill. "Botheration," said her driver. "Back for a banker we go," sighed the fireman. The train was brought back to the station and Edward was soon ready to push from behind. "Never mind," he said kindly to Emily. "Even Gordon struggles in the hills sometimes." But Emily did mind. She felt sad. She thought she had let the Fat Controller and the passengers down. Emily was taken off the train at the other end of the line. She was taken to a siding for a rest. "It's not fair," she complained. "I only wanted to help the passengers and the Fat Controller." There, soothed her driver. "It isn't your fault you rear or rock like you do. It just comes from your big wheels." That didn't make Emily feel any better. Was it something I said? A station master soon came running up to them. "James has failed with a commuter train," he cried. "Could you get the passengers back home, please?" "Right away," replied the driver. He scrambled into the cab. "Come on, old girl, let's give it another try." Emily puffed unsurely away. They found James halfway along the line. His passengers swarmed angrily around him. Emily blew her whistle and they soon stopped complaining. "Don't worry, everyone," she said. "I'll get you home." The passengers were helped back into their coaches, and Emily was coupled on. The guard waved his green flag and Emily started off. Emily did her best to make up the time, but every time she tried to go fast, she would rock and roll again. The old engine had to work hard to find a speed that was just right. She would rear up when starting too, bumping the passengers about. Emily felt upset whenever they complained, but she knew she was doing her best to help them get home. Gordon was standing at the station with his express. He felt much better, but could not leave until James' train had come. He whistled impatiently.
"Where is that James?" he grumbled. "Doesn't he know he's making me horribly late?"
At last the train arrived. Emily was in such a hurry, she had forgotten until too late to slow down. She put her brakes hard on, her big wheels locked and skidded to a halt. 2 coaches were beyond the platform and she had to go back to let the passengers out. Gordon laughed.
"I know they call us engines iron horses, but you don't have to behave like a real horse."
Emily glared. "What do you mean by that?"
"No respectful passenger engine would rear up on their frames like you do," replied Gordon grandly. "Anyone would think they're being hauled by stagecoach."
Emily was about to retort, but she never got her chance.
"Ah, Emily."
The Fat Controller approached the 2 engines.
"I have heard about your, horseplay on the express this morning."
Gordon sniggered. Emily blushed.
"However, these mishaps are not your fault. All engines with larger driving wheels suffer issues like this, and you still helped these passengers get home when James failed. Well done. I'm very proud of you."
Emily was very proud. "Thank you, sir," she said. "I did say I wouldn't let you down." Gordon was quiet, and when his train was ready, he respectfully puffed away. Emily is still happy to help other engines when they need it. She still rocks and rolls and rears, but she has learned to take these in her stride. Workmen and crews began calling her the old mare, which means they could always rely on her. This makes the old engine very proud indeed.
There's no one quite like Emily, friendly Emerald Emily. You don't need to ask her twice when you want some sound advice. All those who know Emily know what shows especially. She's got that certain you know what. There's no one quite like Emily. Sometimes she can't help herself and gets misunderstood. Things can sometimes turn her wrong when all she meant was good. There's no one quite like Emily, friendly Emerald Emily. You don't need to ask her twice when you want some sound advice. All those who know Emily know what shows especially. She's got that certain you know what. There's no one quite like Emily. Clever, cheerful, confident, she really knows her stuff. She's the one to get things done while others have been rough. There's no one quite like Emily, friendly Emerald Emily. You don't need to ask her twice when you want some sound advice. All those who know Emily know what shows especially. She's got that certain you know what. There's no one quite like Emily. There's no one quite like Emily, friendly Emerald Emily. You don't twice when you want some sound advice. All those who know Emily know what shows especially. She's up at Suds and you know what, there's no one quite like Emily.
Today, Thomas must take a boat to the docks. But he needs to go under a bridge. Which is the best bridge for Thomas to go under? The first bridge is wide enough for Thomas and the boat. But what about the mast? This bridge isn't tall enough. What about this bridge? It's very tall. The mast will fit under that bridge. But is it wide enough? This bridge is much too narrow. What about this bridge? It's very tall and it's very wide. Thomas can pull the boat under this bridge. Well done, Thomas. The children are going to school. Bertie has brought them to the station early. The children have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's a train coming. It's a blue engine, so it could be Gordon. But look, this engine has got a tall, thin funnel. And it's only got 4 wheels. That's not Gordon. Do you know who it is? It's Edward. The children like seeing Edward, but today he is carrying coal. The children still have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's another train coming. I wonder if this one is Gordon. It's another blue engine, but look. This engine has big water tanks over its wheels. And it's got the number 1 on its side. That's not Gordon. But do you know who it is? It's Thomas. And he's pulling Annie and Clarabelle. The children love seeing Thomas. But Thomas doesn't stop at this station. The children still have to wait for Gordon. Listen, what's that? There's another train coming. I hope this one is Gordon. It's another blue engine. This engine has a very short funnel. It's very big and very fast. It's Gordon. The children waited patiently for Gordon. And now Gordon will get them to school on time. Well done, Gordon. It's a beautiful day on the island of Sodor. Percy has been chosen to take some children to the seaside. But Percy feels nervous. It's a very special job. Percy wants the children to have a wonderful day. What can Percy do to make himself feel better? Percy can fill his water tanks at the water tower. Then Percy knows he can make lots of steam and keep his engine nice and cool all day. But what can Percy do next to make himself feel good? Percy can have a lovely long washdown. Percy loves being clean and shiny. Now Percy looks his very best. What can Percy do next to feel good about his trip? Percy can make sure his tender is full of coal. Percy looks his best and is ready to go. Percy can steam ahead and know he'll arrive safely and on time. So what did Percy do? First, Percy filled his tanks with water at the water tower. Then Percy had a really good wash. Finally, he made sure his tender was full of coal. Now Percy feels like a really useful engine. And he is ready to collect the children. Have a nice day at the seaside, Percy. Here are Percy, Edward, and Henry. Percy is the smallest engine. Edward is the medium-sized engine. And Henry is the biggest engine. Today, each of the engines is going to visit a special destination. The Scottish Castle, the windmill, and the beach cabin at Bluffs Cove. Percy wants to go to the smallest building. Should he go to the Scottish Castle, the windmill, or the beach cabin? Let's see. Percy puffs along his track. Round lots of corners. It's very twisty. Where do you think it's going to take him? It looks like Percy is going to the beach cabin at Bluffs Cove. The beach cabin is the smallest building. Well done, Percy. What about Edward? Edward wants to go to the medium-sized building. Should he go to the windmill or the Scottish Castle? Edward twists in and out, around and about. Can you see where he's going yet? It looks like the windmill. The windmill is the medium-sized building. Well done, Edward. Now, it's Henry's turn. Henry wants to go to the biggest building. Henry steams along his track. It twists round to the left and round to the right and takes Henry to the Scottish Castle. The Scottish Castle is the biggest building. Well done, Henry. Percy, Edward, and Henry all arrived at the right building to match their size. Well done, everyone.
Edward's Express. When Gordon arrived on the railway, Sir Topham Hatt purchased brand new express coaches for him. They had sturdy metal bodies, smooth bogies, and separate compartments for the passengers. Gordon was well pleased with his coaches. The old coaches felt left out. They were made of wood, ran on axles, and had no individual compartments. Time and wear led the railway inspectors to see them as unworthy of the main line. The coaches were most upset. "Cheer up," smiled Edward as he shunted them into the carriage sidings. "Will still be useful on the branch line trains." "Branch lines!" they shuddered. "How embarrassing!" While Henry was shut in the tunnel, Edward took over his local trains. He knew all about being left behind and brought the old coaches out every chance he got. This cheered them up, until Gordon voiced his opinions. "A pity," he sniffed as Edward shuffled in with the coaches. "But that's the price of progress. Why, even you would have been a prime express engine at one point, Edward. I suppose it's only natural that modern engines require modern coaches." "Is that so?" smirked Edward. "Why, I think you'd look most distinguished pulling these old dears."
Oh, no thank you, Gordon harumphed. They'd be open-top carriages before I even reached top speed. Now these are proper coaches, he finished, eyeing the express behind him. Is that what they are? I thought someone had stretched out the goods vans, and you were doing some real work for a change, laughed Thomas as he shuffled past with some trucks. Edward couldn't help but chuckle, and Gordon fumed out of the station. His mood didn't improve on the main line. They were running well. Too well. Settle down, Gordon, scolded the driver. You'll do a number on yourself. Make no mistake. Real work, muttered Gordon. I'll show those engines a thing or two about real work. Then next morning, Gordon tried to leave the sheds, but he couldn't. What's happened to me? He groaned. The crew inspected him and quickly found the problem. Something's wrong with your tender brakes, sighed the fireman. And with how you were going about yesterday, I'm not surprised. And you thought the old coaches were the ones who would fall apart, laughed Thomas. Edward shot him a look. This is no time for teasing, Thomas. The express must go out on time. And how? Grunted Gordon. You aren't strong enough to pull those coaches, Edward. Edward glanced at the coaches in the carriage sidings. And then he spotted something else. The passengers were growing impatient. There was no train ready for them, and it would soon be time to leave. The fat controller had just stepped out of his office to see what the matter was, when he saw a most peculiar sight. Edward came steaming in with all the old coaches he could find. The passengers were surprised, but thankful they had a train at all. They hurriedly boarded the coaches, and the fat controller smiled. Well done, Edward. Most resourceful of you. Don't push yourself too hard now. I may not match Gordon's pace, sir, smiled Edward, but I'll have a jolly good try. The guard blew his whistle, and Edward started away. Soon, he was coasting down the main line, making excellent time. He whooshed through the tunnel, giving Henry quite a surprise. Go on, Edward! Go on! He cheered. Come along, Edward puffed. Gentle and fast, cooed the coaches. They were very pleased with Edward. At the last station, the passengers cheered and thanked Edward. The engine at Vickerstown was most amused, but looked on with admiration. Edward just smiled. He was thankful for a rest and a drink. When he returned to Sodor, Edward spoke kindly to the old coaches. Well, dears, how did you fancy a return to the glory of the express? Oh, it was lovely, Edward, smiled one. Although, added another, perhaps you were right. Some leisurely branch line work sounds most enticing. Well, Edward laughed, I'd say it's time for a well-earned rest in the carriage shed. Come along. That won't be necessary. Gordon slunk up alongside. The fat controller has given me temporary reprieve from the rigors of mainline work to rest my wheels, he stated grandly. I shall escort these fine coaches to the shed. That's not what he said, smirked Thomas. He said you were to shunt in the yard until you learned not to be so big in the smoke box. Take us away, then. Double quick, chop chop, ordered the old coaches. Edward and Thomas laughed. Gordon went red in the face and shuffled silently away.
Lego Duplo proudly supports Thomas and Friends on PBS Kids, where imagination and creative play fuel your child's journey. Lego Duplo, building sets for preschoolers.
PBS Kids. PBS Kids has dinosaurs.
Hi.
Dinosaurs.
What's new with you?
And more dinosaurs.
Why does your beak look so different from ours? I'm more interested in finding out about different dinosaurs than ever.
It's a dinosaur train marathon.
We get to ride the dinosaur train. I 2. I 3.
I 4.
That's 4 shows in a row.
Cool.
Don't miss the Dinosaur Train Marathon on PBS Kids, Labor Day, September 7th.